Now, Dion, we're gonna ease into this. I want to get to know who you are. So, in your own words today, in this moment, who is Dion Patrick in your own words?
Dion Patrick is a father. I'm a grandfather. I'm a brother. I'm a cousin. Uh, love a family man. I love my family to death. Learned a lot more about myself in life because in my earlier years, I wasn't that attached to my family. I was kind of detached and I was hanging more with my friends. But now I've gravitated back to my family where I should have been all the time. I think I'm just a person that just wants to see more out of life for everybody. I want to see everybody do well in life. I want to see everybody succeed in life and just go on and do great things.
All right, Dion, we're gonna go into the speed round here with just some fun get to know you questions. Are you ready? Are you
Yeah.
nervous? I tend to freak people out. What sport would be the funniest sport to add mandatory amounts of shots before they played?
Shots as far as alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
probably basketball.
All right. What is your best dad joke?
My best dad joke. I don't know if I have one. I've never really thought about it.
They just kind of flow for most people. I ask people, they're like, it's not an actual joke. It's just a dad moment where you're like, got it right. What is the worst song in history?
I don't really know names of songs, right? The worst song in history. I have to probably get back to you on that one.
Oh, you can hum a few bars when you think of it.
Okay, we'll do.
Everybody thinks of the good songs. Like, I'm curious what the really bad songs are.
Right.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
To see into the future.
Why?
Because I'm a person that likes to prepare for what's ahead. So if I know what's coming, then I could better prepare for what's in store for me.
Okay. What purchase of $100 or less have you made in the last year that's had the most significant impact on your life?
I just actually purchased it the other day. Learning how to start your own business for dummies.
Yeah. Book?
Yes.
Okay. I like it. There's no wrong answer to these questions. It's just always fascinating to me. It's like,
Yeah.
what is moving the needle for you, right? I had one guy who bought $70 shorts. He's like, dude, it's the best $70 I ever spent. It's like, it's shorts, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I own 5 pairs now. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I don't get that.
He really enjoys those shorts.
Yeah. I am not that committed to anything.
Right.
6 pairs of $70 shorts. Wow. No wrong answer. People like books. Books tend to have an impact on people. But are you starting a new business then?
I'm investing in some businesses, and then I've started getting into like real estate, like rehabs and selling them.
Okay, that's cool. I got to ask, because every guy has an opinion: Batman or Superman?
Batman.
Okay. What's that go-to weapon for the zombie apocalypse?
My faith and hope it never happens.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, Dion, you co-authored an extraordinary story, your story, in the book, The Hazel Boys, The Trials of 4 Innocent Men. Tell us a little bit about the book itself.
Well, the book touches on me and 3 of my co-authors, which were also co-defendants in a case that totally changed our lives. One of us was 15 at the time it started. Out of the 4 authors, I was the oldest at 20. And it's just a very impactful book that talks about the trials that we went through to get our lives back and to get our freedom back as well, and to just start moving our lives in the right direction.
Now, at the end of the book, and no spoilers here, guys. You're going to have to read it. But at the end of the book, you were coming out of 21 years of being in prison. And what really tugged at my heartstrings was this moment you were entering into where you were having to build a new relationship with your kids after not being able to be a part of their lives. How's that going for you? You said you had...
I had 2 kids. I have a son and a daughter. They're both 30 plus, 32 and 33. And it's 11 years in, and I'm still rebuilding that relationship. Like, we still have our struggles where we like bump heads on idealism and how things should really go. And but I still feel like at the end of the day, like, I'm never gonna tell my kids anything wrong. So I always feel like they should listen to me, because I'm not gonna guide them in the wrong direction at all. So, but it's great. Like, we love each other. I just think we tend to not agree on the direction that people's lives should be going in right now.
Okay. I think that's just the plight of any good father, is like, I have a different opinion of what you should be doing, and trying to find that line. I know my dad had to hold back several times with me, is like, I don't agree with, but you know what? I'm going to let you go. You find that a little bit, and I'm right here when you need me. I think that's the best a father can hope for, right?
Yeah.
A kid's going to know you love them and come back when they are ready to talk on it.
Exactly. And I think we do that. And it's like, I always know they'll be back though. So I just be waiting for them to come back. So I'm here when they need me. It's like, I don't know, like, I know, like, my route to where I'm at today, I didn't have that. Like, a lot of things I had to figure out. And I don't think they have to figure out as much if they just take the advice that's given to them. Because I also realize now, as an adult, that if I would have followed my mother's blueprint to a T, I wouldn't have went through any of the things that I went through in life.
Now, guys, you're gonna have to actually read the book, okay? I finished the book, and I'm not gonna lie, it was, man, there were parts where I was angry, there were parts where I was emotional. Y'all's story is, you want to believe that happens in other countries, like communist countries. You don't want to believe that happens here in the US.
Yes.
Which makes it so much harder. But you guys, I will have a complete book review over on the purposedrivenmen.com later this week as well, so you guys can dig farther into that book, and we're going to talk about it a little more today. Dion, when people find out who you are and your backstory, right, this side of this, what do people misunderstand the most about you?
Oh, that's a good question, because I think a lot of times I do my best to not allow people to know my backstory until they get to know me as a person and understand who I am, right? Because I think some people will pass judgment on you. I know when I first came home in 2014, it was hard for me to even rent an apartment because they were doing background checks and that stuff was popping up. And so I think for me, when people do learn my backstory, I think there's a lot of questions, because we live in a society where a lot of people believe in the system. And I live in a world where I understand that the system is broken and it's a flawed system. Like, it doesn't work all the time. It works sometimes, but it doesn't work all the time, right? And I think, like, for me, like, just getting to know people and them getting to know me, it gives them a better understanding and then puts them at ease to ask some of the questions they may want to know. And I'm fine with answering those questions.
What is one thing everybody should understand about you. Before we jump into the meat of today, we're going to get a little more serious here, guys, because Dion has so much valuable to pass on knowledge-wise for you guys. But what is something that everybody should understand about you as a person before we jump into that?
I think the one thing about me, I'm an open book. I'm constantly learning. I think I've learned stuff from since I've been home, right? So I don't feel like the age of 53 that I know everything. I'm okay with learning new things. And I think I also have this thing where I truly believe like it's not always the message, it's the messenger. And it's the way that some things are delivered. And that's just how I accept things now in life. Because if the messenger is off, we're not really going to receive a message. So I'm open to any type of conversation. I'm diligent in the things that I want to do. Like I'm going to see them through. And that's just who I am as a person.